You had a dream over 30 years to return back to your land. The name of Azerbaijan and Azerbaijani people will stay high and high in the esteem of the world. Now the dream has become a reality.
Mr. Reza, let me thank you first of all that you've accepted our invitation and today you are here in our office. Thank you so much. It's our great pleasure.
It is my pleasure too being here.
Mm-hmm. You know, I've been preparing for this interview for a long time. You often come to Azerbaijan. Even this year you came to Azerbaijan on 20th January to honor our soldier. I want to ask, how do you always feel when you come to Azerbaijan?
Well, I mean, Azerbaijan is part of my motherland, in reality. When I'm coming here, it looks like coming back to my homeland. This is, I was born in Tabriz, in Iran. This is part of the Azerbaijan, the big Azerbaijan. The language which is here is exactly the same language that I was brought up in my childhood and my mother tongue, as you know. So, and also, besides this, over past 30 years, I have seen a lot of suffering of the Azerbaijani people because of the war, because of what's happened in the 90s, what happened in the Khojali, what's happened in the First Karabakh war, and all these refugees. And this part of seeing this much of the suffering for 10 million people here, it has always been a burden on my shoulder too. So every time I'm coming here, obviously as a just person, not professional. As a person, I'm very happy to be here. But I'm back in here, I hear in the music and the voices that is familiar. But I was always this sadness of the suffering that I was feeling. And this time, the past 3-4 months, it's changing a lot. It has changed a lot for me. Mm-hmm. Because finally, the people were able to look to the mirror in their face and feeling free. This is a very important feeling when you have this feeling of being free and your land is not occupied anymore, even if it's not 100% solved the problem. And everybody knows, everybody talking to me that we may have a problem later in the future because of the situation on the field. But, they got their lands back.
Recently you were in Kalbajar. What did you do there? Let's talk about that.
Kalbajar, this was my second time actually in this moment after liberation going there. The first things that struck me really is this beautiful landscape. I love mountains. I have been a lot, I've brought up in the mountains and I love mountains. I've traveled a lot in the mountains. And when I arrived in Kalbajar, I always remember my first impression, seeing this mountain, was just, wow. And then, obviously, I stayed, the second times I went there, spending 10 days there. Traveling with a lot of villages all around the Kalbajar. The same story that I have seen in all the other occupied territories, that they have destroyed the houses, that deliberately they have taken out everything from houses, they have erased everything cultural, buildings, religious places, historical monuments, they have erased. I mean, the Kalbajar Museum, the place which the museum was, there's nothing there. There's even, I mean, you see, it's just a flat land. Nothing left. Nothing left. Just few old stone that they were not able to take. So I'm witnessing a terrible story that happened during this occupation, which is deliberate destruction of culture, of everything related to culture, deliberate destruction of the nature. They have cut thousands of the trees, thousands, not one, not two, not 100. And there are trees that are as big as this, you know, the fruit trees, the chestnut, this is just, I don't understand it. I don't understand who are those people, what is their religion, what is their belief, what is their personality that are able to do such things. You know, they have lived in Kalbajar 30 years in the house of Azerbaijanis, the house that they were living over 30 years, 28 years. It was not their home. They have not built this home. They came and they take over the land, the house, and they lived there for 28 years. Now that they have to leave, to go back, they burned it, this house even. This is also the house that they have lived there, free, for 28 years. And now they are going back, they're burning down, you know. These are the things which I don't understand.
Why did they do that?
This is the question which I'm trying to find the answer.
Did you find any answer?
Of course not. I mean, this is something that I believe this is a question that should be bring up in all levels, all the media, all the international institutions, the United Nations, the UNESCO. Everybody should go and ask them, why you do this? I mean, they have shot dead even the animals, the cows, the donkeys, you know, the pigs. They just shot before living. Yeah.
Mr. Reza, you are a very popular photographer in the world. Everyone knew you and know you now. Please tell me one thing. What will you say to these people?
You know, I'm a peaceful person. I'm a pacifist person. And for me, the most important thing is understand why they have done this. If I find them and sitting in front of them, and I will show the pictures, and that why you did cut all those trees? I mean, someone saying that, oh, these are poor people, they cut the trees and they sell it. Okay?
Yes.
But there are tens of the trees that they have just cut, and even they will not take it back. Just destroying the trees, destroying the forest. The house. So that's what I will ask them. I will try to understand them, why they do this. What's the reason?
You know, Mr. Reza, I always think about why do they hate Azerbaijani people?
I think that this is a question I was asking also. One of the reasons comes from the education and the history. I mean, they have been brought up from the childhood, which this is what I know because I met many of them in Europe, in America. A lot of colleagues, a lot of people.
You were in touch with them, yes.
Of course, I talk to them. And every time I talk to them, all of them, even the very, very high intellectual or writers or filmmakers, you know, when you sit down and you really talk to them, the thing which come up, you know what is it? It's saying that, you know, Reza, I remember, this is, many of them they have told me, I remember when I was a kid, my grandfather, when I was a kid, like maybe 4 or 5 years, I don't remember, I was sitting there and said that, my little son, you will become a man when you will cut a head of a Turk.
Oh my God.
This is in US. This is in US, and the guy is one of the top media people in US. Chief editor of one of the biggest, you know. That's what, the hate coming from there. When your grandfather or your grandmother...
So they educate children like this.
Educate, yes, children saying that you will become a man when you will cut head of a Turk. You know? So then the main problem, that question is, okay, Turks, when they're talking, is because they had a problem with the Turkey, with the Ottomans. Azerbaijan, they have done nothing. They were even not in this story. They were not in this 1915, whatever happened. This is a different story. You know. So that this, because they cannot afford to fight Turkey, they find Azerbaijan, which is weak Turks, in the past 30, 40 years, 100 years. And they will keep cutting the head of the Azerbaijanis. This is one of the reasons which I think that why they hate so much Azerbaijanis. They assimilated as a Turk for them when looking in this big story. And another thing is because there is a fundamentalist, very extremist group inside Armenia, Dashnaks and Asala. They are like Donald Trump's people, you know, extreme right people. And they are the one that over past 50, 60 years, they were preaching the big Armenia, from the sea to the sea, you know. They have really put an agenda of making people emotional and giving them all this thing that, oh, we were a great nation. We had from the Caspian Sea to the Lake Van in Turkey. This was all Armenia. But historically, many times, people, even not people, the government, ask the Armenian, all right, let's settle down, finish all this 100 years killing each other and hating each other. There's one thing to do, which I'm also preaching this. Why not bring together a huge group of the international experts of all nations, of all, doesn't matter who they are, just find the best historian, the archaeologists, the scientific, everybody that could work on one subject. And the subject is finding the truth. How? Let's open all the archives, governmental archives of Turkey, of Azerbaijan, of Iran, of Russia, of Armenia, of Georgia, all the countries, that the region, and they have been involved in the past 100 years of those massacres, or they call it the genocide, or everything that happened. Okay, let's put all these archives and find out who did what according to this archive. What's happened? This is all written there. You cannot avoid it. You cannot hide it. This is all there.
Everything is there.
And you know, till now, which is the country that refused to do it? Armenia.
Armenia.
Yeah. Armenia is the one that said, no, I don't want to open my archives.
Because they don't want people in the world to know the truth.
But I mean, I don't know why they don't open it. They should answer when the Turkey, Iran, Russia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, they are all ready to open the whole archives.
But on the Armenian don't.
The Armenians said, no, I don't want it. Why? Why? What? Is there something that you are hiding in it? Is there something that you don't want to know about it?
So maybe there is something that they want to hide, for example.
The future of the the whole region. And the peace in the region will be guaranteed when these things happen, when the whole archives will come up. And as I said, maybe 100 experts needed for 5 years, 10 years, to go through one by one all those archives and find out and put in the word, saying that, okay, this is what's happened. This is what's happened exactly, according to the archives. Because you can invent history. A lot of things that we know about history, it is fabricated. It is fake history. Mm-hmm. The history is always written by the people that are strong people, or in the government, or whoever is it. So, but the real story is different. It's in the archives.
Mm-hmm. You made a lot of very interesting photos in Azerbaijan. Is there anything that you would like to make photo in Azerbaijan?
I would like to photograph when all these refugees returning back and living back, constructing their home.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Reza, let's talk a little bit, please, about the French mass media. Did they write the truth about Azerbaijanis and about Armenians? Because some people write, for example, in mass media that French media, they didn't write anything, for example, right thing about the Azerbaijani, but always they try to write about the nice thing about Armenians. Is that true or not?
Well, let's put it this way. There are 500,000 Armenians living in France. Mm-hmm. Over maybe 100 years.
Their influence.
Yes. Mm-hmm. These 500,000, they had even prime ministers. One of the French prime minister, Balladur, he's Armenian. We had a lot of ministers, tens of the deputies, the mayors, but also, and this is the most important, they have been a lot, and they are a lot in the media, French media. Mm-hmm. There's not a single media that you don't find in a good position the Armenian there. So they knew from the very beginning that if they want to influence French people, mm-hmm. they have to put their hands in the media, all right? Mm-hmm. So obviously, when you have your people all around this media, you know how to influence people, you know how to influence public opinion, you know how to give the fake information, and also, more important, you know how you can block and stop someone like me that talking about the Azerbaijan. Mm-hmm. This was going on over 30 years now, this battle between me and those 500,000 people in the other side. It has been 30 years that this battle going on, still even more now. Mm-hmm. But what I say to the French people when I talk to them, when I interview, they ask me about, my main method is saying that, you know what? You are the hostage. The French people opinion has been hostage by Armenian extreme right. Mm-hmm. And what you heard, what you read about the Karabakh and Armenia, it is totally fake from the Armenian side, from the French media. Totally fake. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But they couldn't influence on you.
How they could? Of course not. I'm one of the person that has a lot of access to the media because of my works, because my work is strong, because what I'm doing,
But before you coming, for example, to the television program, don't they say for you, you shouldn't say this or you shouldn't say that?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No. This is not happening in France. The journalists that interview me, even if they are not Armenian, but they are so influenced by their colleagues, by the news in general, that for the French people today now is, oh, look, this Azerbaijani and Turks and the jihadis, they are killing innocent
People.
Children of Karabakh and burning their home. You know what I mean? This is how it was putting in the head of the French people.
They are trying to influence by this way.
Exactly.
Okay, to people. Do people believe in it?
Of course. I mean, you know how the media works.
Of course.
Huh? You know how public opinion is made by the media. So when the people, they see newspapers, magazines saying that, and also don't forget that Armenia and French, they are Christian, both of them.
Of course, yeah. By religion.
By religion. And this is like the Russian, the same religion than Armenian and European. So this creates also a lot of,
What could you say to Azerbaijani people? Because now today you are in Baku in Azerbaijan. What can you say? What can you wish?
The future belongs to whom that believes in the beauty of their dreams. You had a dream over 30 years to return back to your land. Now the dream has become a reality, but you have to keep dreaming of a peaceful future for their children and make sure that the name of Azerbaijan and Azerbaijani people will stay high and high in the esteem of the world. This is your duty now.
Mr. Red, thank you very much that you've come today here, that you found time in your tight schedule. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We were very glad to see you here.
Thank you very much.
It's the first time you are here with me, and I hope just it's not last time.